So I'm looking for a bit of a breather now for the dollar, since we've been bullish for the past 4 weeks, seeing a lot of bullish momentum, and the market's been has been flying, but the market never looks to fly for too long before we have the retracement. Now, the bigger move still may be to the upside for the dollar, and of course, NFP tomorrow is actually going to play a big role in that. But we've really failed to break through the high. We've had a few attempts, kind of a triple top here, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm looking for a bit of downside now. We've got this floor to crack through, but if we are successful with that, I do think there's a lot of room for us to fall into. I've been speaking about this ascending channel here for the dollar. Market's been slowly climbing to the upside, but now we've broken out of that channel. And if we can break through that floor as well, that will be terrific, because at that point, I'm expecting the market to really start to melt and have that bigger pullback. And like I said, maybe the bigger move for dollar is still to the upside. Of course, NFP tomorrow will have a big say in that. But looking at the higher time frames, after such a bigger move, after seeing big reaction at the same area, I do think we can have a bit of retracement. I'm looking at least a push back into the low there, which is the bottom of that bearish candle previously, which is around 103,500. That's, I think, a realistic target where we can expect dollar to potentially get to if we do break the floor, which is at 104. Possibly a lot further than that as well, but that's just realistically where I do think we can see a move to. So if DXY does go through a bit of a move to the downside, that means we can see potentially Euro see a move a lot higher up. So hopefully we could see a lot more upside with EURUSD. Currently still in the long position for that one, which I re-entered over there. And break even as well, since price has got to that first high. So I'm looking to manage that trade. I will be looking to trail pricing continue to the upside with that momentum. I will look to move stops underneath this low here and look to trail along the way, because again, keep an eye on dollar, especially if NFP tomorrow. Maybe I get a little bit more room just in case we see some wicks, but the idea is to definitely see some upside there for dollar, for EURUSD, sorry. If you take a look at some other pairs, I think Euro is a little bit strong, to be honest, so that's why it's moving a little bit better than other USD majors. For example, Pound USD, this one, since we last spoke, has just been consolidating, really. I've talked about this bearish descending channel, looking for price to give us a big break of that and potentially a big move higher up, which we did see the start of that, but hasn't really amounted to much there. So I'm looking for a lot more upside there for Pound, but Pound was pretty bearish yesterday. We're struggling to break through that resistance level there at 1.3. So I do think we can see price break through that. And if it does, that's when the bullish opportunities do come around. And we can start discussing break and retest to take some longs. And hopefully Euro will continue to push as well. And you see dollar continue to fall. But right now, I wouldn't touch Pound. Rejecting that level pretty well. Looks like we're trying to break out the channel, but nothing concrete, nothing confident. So I would wait for price to see a confident break of that, really show me that price is breaking through this level and that we're about to turn around and possibly look for some bullish setups. Not really interested in Pound since I'm trading Euro, but there is a possibility there, which is probably more of a trade for next week, really. Yeah, I don't see us breaking and retesting by the end of the week. So keep an eye on that one. There could be some room to the upside that Pound USD could look to fulfill. Looking at some other USD pairs as well, Aussie still pretty weak, although we've seen dollar being a little bit weak as well, but Aussie just being a bit weaker. So this one's still yet to see some upside. Again, I still think the bigger move for Aussie dollar is still down, so I am long-term more bearish on Aussie dollar. So I do still see us pushing back down to 0.64. I have spoken about a correction, a retracement, because we've been falling for a while. I do think we can find support somewhere, push up for a little bit, and then continue our journey. So I do expect to see something like that happen for Aussie dollar in the near future. Whether we're going to form a low here and pull back or drop a little bit further, that's difficult to tell because there's no kind of concrete level which I'm looking to the left. So I wouldn't really be looking for buys on Aussie dollar, but I do like the sells if we were to come back and retest that low, correct ourselves, come back and retest around 0.664. Got that kind of trendline confluence meeting up quite nicely at that area. I think that's a nice place to short, especially if we see some nice rejection coming into that level. And the USD is a similar situation as well. Expect now to keep falling as well. We've got some nice daily levels just below us down here around 0.58806. That's what I'm looking for price to get into. We've broken through this low a long time ago. Had a minor retest there, and since then the market has been falling. So although USD would be nice to get a pullback and retest that low, I just think it's a little bit too far now. We might just see USD kind of just slowly chug away to the downside, and there could be some nice buys once we get there. But yeah, I wouldn't be looking to buy USD just yet, even though I'm expecting dollar to drop. I wouldn't buy it against. I wouldn't use USD to trade that, just because it's in free flow, not trading at significant area at all. So I'll watch out for that. But if you do get back down to 0.588, that could be a nice place for some longs, but still a long way away from that. And of course, dollar CAD, that one was a little bit bullish. Yesterday, I think we pushed up a little bit. That was Tuesday. Yeah, that was Wednesday. A little bit of a push up, but it didn't really amount to much. But this one's still trading in major resistance on the weekly chart. And as I said yesterday, it'll be very interesting to see how that weekly candle does close, because as you can see here, all we've been doing is leaving wicks to the upside in this zone. We haven't seen a candle closure in this zone yet since we created that first rejection in October 2022. So it'll be interesting to see what this candle does this week. I'm expecting to see a reaction, expecting to see price push down, but at the moment, still looking bullish there for USD CAD. We are pretty corrective in this channel, so it's a sign that price is slowing down and getting ready for a big push lower. But I would be pretty patient with that. Not trying to jump the gun, because there's a lot of bullish momentum in the market at the moment, and trying to short it is a little bit difficult, especially if you're looking for a big swing. Waiting for a break of structure might be the more conservative and probably the safer route to take. Wait for price to make that move and look for some pullbacks afterwards. But yeah, I'm expecting a drop there on dollar CAD as well. Maybe NFP will be catalyst for that. And speaking about gold and silver, I really like gold. Confident break again on Tuesday, was it? Yeah, Tuesday. Now leaving behind a nice level there. And I think realistically, there's a good chance we could get a pullback into that level. We unfortunately did not see the retest of this high here, which would have been a really nice place for a long. Just didn't see the pullback, but I think there's a good chance we get that pullback now back to 27.57. And we can see what price gives us, and hopefully some longs back into the high and beyond. And just keeping things very simple there with gold, because all we're seeing is higher lows and higher highs. And the trend is still very much intact and still seeing a lot of momentum. So I'm not trying to overcomplicate it, just trying to find those dips and ride that momentum, really ride that trend. So 27.57 is definitely my level of focus. And silver is partner in crime. We did see a bit of downside yesterday for silver. We didn't take out the high there like gold did. Gold just shot through its high. Silver had a tough time. So silver might still give us that bigger pullback, because I still do like this area here a lot. That's our high pullback, broke through the high of excessive momentum, which I like to see my breakouts. So it has left behind a fresh level of support, which we haven't come back to retest yet. So it's still fresh, and there's a good chance we can get a bounce from that area. And of course, I'll look to see how we maneuver, how we react, and if things look good, entries look good, and hopefully we can take it back to the high